from the event as well. He has orchestrated a spectacle that will be seen around the world, and he's using a space that some think should be a no-fly zone for marketing and promotions. Joining me for more on this is Andrew Fazekas. He is a science writer and a lecturer who has worked with the Canadian Space Agency. He joins me from Montreal. Andrew, good of you to join us tonight, and I see you've dressed for the occasion with your tie. Listen, give us a sense of the kind of money and planning that has gone into making this happen.
Well, you know, Guy has been really involved in this for months on end, and you know, he's been spending basically most of his time training, doing safety training in Kazakhstan before he lifted off a couple of weeks ago. And you know, he's had this passion for water conservation, and he's a shrewd businessman as well. And you know, he's paid an estimated $35 million to the Russian Space Agency to have a seat on the Soyuz spacecraft to take him to the space station for about 10 days. Yeah. And recently there were some amounts of $6 to $10 million extra that this extravaganza worldwide show might be costing him as well.
Now, this guy's a billionaire, so it's not like he won't be able to pay the rent next week, right?
Well, this is just it. I mean, you have to put it into context. He is worth over $1 billion. He has a huge empire that spans continents, with his Cirque du Soleil being so popular. So he has definitely the finances to do this. And he's said that this has been his passion since childhood, to go up into space. So he's mixing business and his personal interests.
Absolutely, business and pleasure, and you have to applaud his determination. He's done it. He's up there now. Aside from the thrill of being a spaceman for a day, and aside from the charity, this is a huge marketing opportunity for him and for Cirque du Soleil, isn't it?
Well, definitely. You know, he's said publicly he likes to maximize his investments, and you know, he has his charity, of course, and he has a brand that he can promote. And what a better! There's no better platform if you're a business person, a marketing platform, than being you know, 400 kilometers above in space, zipping around the planet once every 90 minutes. I mean, you get pretty good coverage when you're in a platform like that for showcasing whatever you want.
This is probably the most prominent exercise in outer space commercial art that we've seen yet, but it isn't the first, because you know, when I was a kid, of course, during the space the race to the moon, the first company I can think of was Tang, right? The juice company that got involved with the American space program. And since then, there have been a number of efforts to commercialize space.
That's right. I mean, even some, you know, you've seen the rockets that have been plastered with corporate logos on the space station. You've seen soft drinks being advertised, you know, and there have been, you know, way out of this world, literally plans of like having pizza company logos on the moon that would be visible with even just the binoculars or small telescopes. So there's all kinds of, the future, I mean, is really limitless in terms of the appeal. You know, there's an appeal to space. There's a mystique involved, and that attracts the general public. It's just a natural attraction.
Does this event tonight that Guy Laliberte has pulled off, where he's at the International Space Station and all of these performances are happening all around the globe, does this take us through a threshold of marketing and commercialism in space, do you think?
Well, you know, we've never seen anything like this before. I mean, he's the 7th space tourist there, first Canadian, and he's a very flamboyant person. You know, he's quite a personality. He's a showman, and we've never seen a person like Guy Laliberte, you know, go into space before. He brings a completely new face to space tourism, and it kind of showcases what a person who has passion, who has the financial means, can go up there. He's revealed he's not a scientist, he's not an engineer, he's a performance artist, and he's a very crafty businessman as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And look what he can do.
You know, the other thing it does is in a funny way, it kind of opens space to everybody. It democratizes space in a way, doesn't it?
Definitely. You know, I mean, you got to think back, you know, we're at a very fledgling stage for the space tourism industry. I mean, you can liken it to when the jet airliner started, you know, decades ago. It was only open to the ultra-rich, right? And then over time, the costs went down tremendously, where, you know, the average Joe could afford, you know, traveling overseas. Hopefully, in time, the same will happen with space tourism. There's already burgeoning companies like Richard Branson of Virgin Airlines has started Virgin Galactic, which is going to have the first suborbital flights starting maybe late next year, early 2011. He's already booked 200 flights. These are 2-hour flights with 5 minutes of weightlessness. They cost $200,000. And he's already booked up for many flights in advance.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I would have liked to have got my name on the list, but I think I'll have to save up a little bit. Listen, Andrew, fascinating speaking with you. Thanks very much.
My pleasure.
All right, take care. That was space journalist Andrew Fazekas. Well, we have